cut that I'm probably gonna cut. But as you were talking, because I was like, I don't want to call them witches because we're doing da 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 da. For mine.
Go like this. I just see. Okay. Yeah.
Cocaine.
You and the AI would get along so well. Like, literally, when the AI...
I was like, Chat GP... Oh, she's talking about the book.
Literally, the AI will just, like, do something absolutely random. And I'm like, Jessica would just make a comment here. Why did that get inappropriate for no reason? She would do it. She would do it.
Yeah, Jessica anyway. Is the AI. Okay. Hello, hi, and welcome, peoples, persons, and background characters to another episode of Spinning Tales, a podcast maybe. A place where we acknowledge that we are all amalgamations of stories still being told, and do our very best to draw out the storyteller in each of us. I am not a robot. My name's Jess. That is also not a robot. She is Brit.
I can't do the robot. I can't do the robot.
Robots can't do the robot.
Have you seen that video of the robot trying to do the robot? He falls over. Oh, it's great. I'll show it to you later.
Show me. That's what I was supposed to show you a song. A sad song. A song that was sad.
We'll forget again. Yeah, and then you can't make me sad.
That's true. Maybe when we go after we're here and we go for lunch and stuff, I will play you what I have of my June playlist and I just put it on shuffle to see what pops up.
Is it a sad playlist?
No, I don't think so.
Sometimes she does things on purpose to be mean.
That's true. I don't think I've been listening to a lot of sad music. I've been listening to like lower metronome beats.
Okay.
BPM, lower BPM.
Yeah. I need to go back and listen. One of my favorite playlists that you've ever made is Things to Verbalize in Therapy. Mm-hmm. It's a sad one.
Yeah, that's very true.
It is a fun way to find new music.
Yeah.
And then as I'm listening to it, the algorithm, I use YouTube Music.
Same.
But the algorithm picks up on things and then it shows me new things. Yeah. So it gets me out of my like listening rut. It's pretty cool.
I really like, and then you show me songs. I'm like, yep, that's going on a list.
I don't remember a time I've done that.
You have. But yeah, so I like recently my YouTube Music was like, oh, we've updated your play history based on what you're listening to. And I'm like, don't do that. Don't do that. Just recommend me anything. Yeah, because I like now have not a bad habit. I have a habit of what do I do? At least twice a month I'll go to the recently released tabs, and any full albums I would just add to a playlist, and I hit shuffle and I just listen to that, or sometimes I listen to them in a row. I've been actually just listening to them down in a row because I'm like, whatever, if there's something off this album that I like, I'll kick it. Sometimes it sucks because it's like, 3 songs in a row, I can't put them all on this playlist. But like, it's been, I have to check every time it's an artist I've never heard before to see if it's AI or not. Oh, and that gets really frustrating.
Yeah.
That's why I'm like, don't recommend anything to me. Just show me what's new.
Yeah.
I don't care from anything. And I because of the stuff I listen to, I get like Korean, Russian, Spanish.
There was this
Chinese
Thai fusion song.
Oh yeah. I get a lot. I'm getting more and more Thai, which I'm like, I love T-pop.
Yeah. Anyway, very fun. That's some of the stuff we've been intaking. The music we've been intaking.
Yeah.
All of the things.
More music will be intaking later today. We should definitely do a playlist episode coming up soon.
Yeah. I'm really excited.
Yeah.
So I think we have a playlist episode planned that's going to take all day.
Yeah.
And so we should probably find a different music inspired thing to do.
Yeah.
To make it more approachable.
That's fair. I almost want to be like, if we do that, I want our lav mics to work so that we're not stuck in one place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But whatever.
We'll experiment.
We'll see. Anyway. You want to ask me what we're doing today?
What are we doing today?
Today, we are doing a golden oldie. Every now and then we're like, oh, what are we going to do? What do we feel pushed to do? Because we have a long list of episodes and things. And sometimes we're like, we don't have time to do that one. We don't have the energy for that one. And we did just, as you can tell by our outfits and hair and everything that is the same, record another video earlier today because We gotta. So we are trying to do something that's a little bit lower effort on our end, so that we don't run out our energy.
High quality on your end.
Exactly. So we are going back to the what stories do we want to hear, right? That is what we open every season with. It's what we opened the whole show with, and it is definitely going to be sprinkled in between
The episodes
because sometimes we just need something that's a really comfortable fallback that we can still tell great stories out of.
Yeah, but also like life is updating and changing all the time. And sometimes you need to hear or desire to hear or inspired by something. And it's nice to be able to stop and be like, okay, I know we had plans, but this thing is in my head.
Yeah.
And that is kind of what we got going on today.
Yeah. And it's also kind of a vibe change because if you watched that last episode, we ended a bit angry and we're like, let's move our minds from that.
I had to lay down.
Yeah.
I didn't go to sleep, but I just closed my eyes a little bit and thought about good things.
Yeah, which is nice.
Yeah.
And now we're going to think about gooder things.
Even gooder.
So typically what we do is we'll typically, we'll have a conversation about like what kind of stories we want to hear and stuff. But we've both decided off camera that we know what we want. We know what we want. We both want stories about witches. I know this is true about me because I've said it over and over to you, but you've just said it to me off camera that you feel the same thing. That you recently read a book about witches, which you really did enjoy. You liked it a lot.
It was good.
But it didn't scratch the itch you were looking for.
Right.
And I've been saying that probably for the last 3 or 4 years. That I was like, I just want a very specific book about witches. And I can't find it anywhere. So I gotta write it. Like, I want this story to be told in this way.
We've had one witch, yes, but what about this witch?
Yeah, so what we're going to do is kind of try to reach that itch. I don't think I'm actually going to get that to where I am, because even in my head, it's very nebulous, the idea. Like, I've got pockets of this story that I want to tell or retell, because...
I'm curious about what are the elements that you wanted.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah, because I know some of the things that I was hoping to see
from you
as I was reading the book. As I was reading the book that I was reading, I was like, oh, I wish I could see a scene like this. I want her to experience this. That would have been lovely to get more of. Mm-hmm. But I don't know what things you're looking for.
Yeah. On the spot. Because I think more than anything else, this is where I... reflect you in that it is a vibe. I'm looking for a vibe. When you settle into a good book that has a world that is realized in such a way that you feel like set. You feel sat and set, and you're like, oh, this is how I feel reading. Like, there are different books in my like lifetime that I can remember the exact space I was reading it in because it made me feel like in the world kind of thing. So I'm looking for a book that puts me in a magical world like that. For me, I want it to be modern. I want or contemporary rather than modern. Those are two different things. I'm looking for like witches as like a side hustle, the more often than it is a day job, or witches as a culture. Rather than it's like, oh, we're all in hiding. Like, it is a familial thing. I'm looking for like, this is family magic. That isn't just like, oh, we are a family witches, but we are in a community of that is just under everything else. Like, like regular people who speak a different language,
Yeah.
And so that's the vibe.
Yeah.
And that's what's hard, because it's like, I'm looking for that. And the reason it's been hard for me to get to writing to that is like, that's not a plot. That's not a story.
Right.
That is, I mean, it could be if you're just like cozy fan, but I'm not trying to do cozy, I don't know what it is. So it's
I want what cozy would give me, but it can't be cozy.
Yes. Like, I want to be able to be like in the world of this and understanding, like, I want magic that is centered in, the thing that I'm like about to say in my head feels very nationalistic, so I don't want to say it, but I'm going to. But it's centered in like the magic of the land of America, not the nation of America. So magic of the people who, like the first people who, this is the land of the people who live here. So like before Christianity was brought over, before Puritanism, before societal things that are now expected. I know we just finished talking about all those things. That, and then a mix of, because I want to talk about like a Black American witches. It's like, so that is now a mix of old culture, a lot of lost African ties, because there are a lot of tribes. So you don't even know, mixed in with this Native American magic that you have to pull from the soil. So it is a new thing. It makes me kind of think of like what people would typically say, like Louisiana voodoo is, in that like this is a whole culture and a magic that is steeped and created here in this culture. And I want that kind of magic, not as like stereotypically like what you see is like, oh, it's dark. I'm sure I've not looked into voodoo or hoodoo, however you say it, at all, because I'm like, I don't want that to not tempt to like mess with the magic system that's in my head, kind of thing. And that is an actual culture that I'm not trying to like I'm trying to create something and not be like not
take or
bastardize,
especially something that we don't understand.
Exactly. Especially like it's always presented as black magic bad.
Right.
You know, where I'm like,
I think that's a fascinating place to go. I was also looking for the way that different cultures like in vibe their magic and ancestors and spirituality. Like in the book that I read, like it was a bunch of witches in America, and one of the characters has a line, like throwaway line, that's like, you know, we haven't figured out how to like do this, and it's been thousands of years, but find a witch in Japan and she'll make us look like it makes us look like child's play.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
And it's so cool to see the different things. And I've been thinking about like in America, in Africa, in these different places before colonialism came, there was rich, amazing culture. Some of those things still come through.
Yes.
Right? And it's amazing, but they've been changed and they were put through the lens of that's other and that's bad.
Yeah.
Unless it fits in a way that the dominant culture likes.
Correct.
Right? Which is really frustrating because there was beautiful things about what that was in its pure form before it was taken away, changed, and then given back. Right? So I think it's fascinating to imagine what it would be. Yeah. So there's just been a couple of reels on my timeline that have made me thought about that. There's like a game written by, it's like a role-playing game, and I think they've got a video game coming out of like what America would be if colonialism hadn't happened, and like the futurism and the technology that would have been developed there instead. Yeah. Right? Like, imagine, right? But then there was also another reel that talked about voodoo dolls, right? Where according to this, like I need to look it up. I'm not a historian, so I'm not sure where to like find the resources or the like sources for this. But apparently those dolls used to be for like the medicine person to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to make a doll that looks vaguely like you so that I know you as a patient, and I'm going to put a pin in the head because you came in for headaches. And then when you come back and say, oh, wait, yeah, here you are. How's your head doing? What else is going on? And it was taken and it was made dark.
So that's like, it's a curse.
It's a curse, right? So someone from the outside saw it and said it's evil. Yeah. Just like when we hear stories about like witches and stuff like that, it's like, hey, I got herbs and stuff to make you feel better. She's putting curses on people, and it's black magic. And it's like this was how a community came together to care for each other. Yeah. But the fact that they had power outside of you pisses you all the way off. And so you take the things that you like and you take it. This is another aside, probably not important, but I found out recently, and again, I need to find the sources on it, but apparently the way that people like fall out in some churches and like speak tongues and stuff like that, that was like an African spiritual tradition that like popped up again in like LA. Right? Okay. By a black man. Yeah. And then it's taken into other churches and like, this is, and like Christianity does so much witchcraft that they don't call witchcraft. You see people putting scriptures on like tablets of paper and putting it into backpacks and all sorts of stuff. Like, this is going to keep us safe. I'm like, you made a talisman. I've seen that in anime. Did you imbibe it with your chakra too? No? Okay. Wait, like all sorts of things, right?
Yeah.
And as a person, grew up Christian, loves Jesus, there's a lot that we have taken from people, put in ours, and if we like it, we call it Jesus.
Yeah.
Even if it's not.
Yeah.
And if we don't like it, we call it Satan.
Yeah.
And it's upsetting, right?
Yeah.
So
Here we are back to
back to the things that make us angry. But no, I would love to see a community coming together, coming into their own power, and finding the autonomy and the beauty of their own culture, and taking it back.
Yeah. Same. Seems like a good time. Yeah. Is that what you were looking for in your, because how you said it made me think, like, are you talking about the character doing stuff as a character, as a person, or was it like linked to the magical, the witch, the whatever?
What I wanted from the character specifically was for her to come into her own and find power and autonomy, which she did in a sense, but not in the way that I wanted. I wanted her to like take up the power and like, and like be part of the community. And then I wanted to see the culture of the witches, and you only saw glimpses of those things, right?
Yeah.
So like they mentioned the witches in Japan, and you see glimpses of these witches who aren't living like a glamorous lifestyle, but it's like, what are their lives like? We see the lives of this oppressed young girl and her not wanting to be there, but let's explore what she doesn't. She's saying no to a thing or yes to a thing that she hasn't even gotten to explore.
Yeah.
So I would have liked just more insight into the culture of the witches.
Yeah. If you bring in things about the world, I want to see more about it. Yeah.
And it was a good book.
Yeah.
I recommend it if you are okay with reading about witchcraft.
Yeah.
Some people aren't.
That's true. So this is a side thought. Because I always like push against, like, I don't want to use the word witches. I want to use something else, right? Because this is something else. And I think I just hit on it, which I may not keep because of connotation. But I've always been doing black characters, black witches, and I think I'm going to have them call themselves the powered or empowered.
Yeah.
And in my brain, it's like power to the people now means something different.
Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Do your fun thing.
Yeah. So I think instead of, they're not calling themselves witches, they're calling themselves empowered. The empowered.
That's cool.
Is what the community refers to as individuals.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing that I just came up with right now. Yeah. But okay. So yeah. I think that I'm not super ready to write because I'm like, my brain is like, what do I want to write? What am I going to do?
Chat a little more, I think, to find a direction.
I mean, I sort of know what I want to do for me. But I think we're giving ourselves 20 minutes, which means I'm giving myself about 12 because
that's the way your brain
but then we have
works.
the second writing thing, and I think I want to write about not a magic system, right? But how that system is in action in the hands of these empowered people, right? And so it's like I'm in my head already forming like kind of a scene, an active scene of like you would be like, oh, they're over a cauldron and they're doing this, but like, what does that look like in this world, in this power system, in this community, right? Like, so what are they reacting to and reacting against to do this, or how am I like explaining these? I think I don't know.
No, I got a scene of maybe some of the things that I would want. I am okay with witchcraft not being witchcraft. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I think people demonize it and they make it like something magical and mystical because they want you to be scared of it. But it's just taking care of each other.
Yeah.
It's just finding ways to survive.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm okay with it being magical too. But I think in the modern sense, in what it would look like in reality, is like instead of being over a cauldron, it's like women over a hot pot.
Yes.
Throwing in like oh, my so-and-so's been dealing with headaches and like things like that. I brought some of this for your bowl, and let's pour you out a cup as we talk about your problems and pray for your children. And, you know.
Yeah. It is very much like when you are in like, when you learn more about Wicca and different things like that, where there are like things like Kitchen Witch, Green Witch, like things like that, where it's just like they're like the like if you talk about someone who's a kitchen witch, like their goal and their intentionality is to, as they are cooking and stuff, they are putting the good vibes in that. They're putting the things, and it's very much like
I just thought of Encanto.
Yeah, right. And it's like this is the way that I'm helping and healing the world. And I'm putting a little extra magic in it, right?
Yeah.
Because of the intention. Like, I'm using this because it brings comfort and this will help to soothe this person's heart, to bring, like, peace to them. I'm doing this because, in the same way, Green Rich is, like, people who grow plants, who are able to, like, work, and, like, these herbs are for this. And it's very much like, this is science in that, like, this herb is going to help with like willow bark for headaches. Like,
it's like when you put a little bit of spicy into your soup because it helps the mucus run.
Yeah, exactly. But in this book, in this fiction, it's like you were just doing the regular things. You're just adding a little bit of power to help increase it.
Yeah.
At least that's for where I'm at, right? And then there are going to be things that are like, well, that doesn't have, like, most of it is like set in the physical world and the things around us, taking from the earth and the air and the elements around us. But some of it is going to be like, well, that's magic. You know, like, well, how you use it, like, because that's what it is, you know? But it is all going to be grounded in some way, you know?
Okay.
For me, in my world.
No, I love it. I want to take notes about the things that I think I maybe want to be going. I am fascinated, and I want to be in this world that I am dreaming of now.
Fun. Yeah. Okay, so maybe we I think maybe we get up and we'll do like a couple of notes, maybe 10 minutes of notes, 5 minutes of notes. So just like, oh, these are things that I'm thinking of, kind of like when but we're not going to actively write. So we can talk to each other, have a little bit of like back and forth before we delve in and we start.
Yeah. Okay.
Things like, oh, this is what I think should be in the world.
Yeah, because if we keep talking, I'm not going to remember all of this.
Yeah.
Things I want to do. Yeah. So we should be writing as we're talking.
Yeah, let's do that.
I'm just writing now.
You're writing what you're actually
I'm just writing.
Oh wait.
I'm just writing.
No, okay.
I'm just writing. So I told you I was going to make notes. I'm just writing.
Okay.
It's coming out.
I was not. I was actually writing notes. So I guess we'll do 20 minutes and we can see what we do.
I only wrote 3 lines.
No, you have betrayed me in the highest order. So I'm gonna move this mic out of my way. So she's betrayed me, and we were supposed to write notes, and she just started writing. So
it was notes.
So we have this in our hands, and I said we were gonna do notes, but we didn't. So we're gonna do another clapboard sound, and we are going to see you back after we are done writing in 20 minutes for us. Let's go.
Okay.
Put your mic back. Da, 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 da.
We don't need to talk.
Oh.
Leave me alone.
Go back into another 20.
What do we have to talk about? What do you need me to say?
Well, we're going to go. Well, okay. I think this is really interesting because I'm not planning to read what I have.
It's not ready.
Yeah. So the way I went, we have to, this is the thing you got to discuss. Look at me.
I'm looking at you. I'm looking.
So I wrote in like one of those states where I'm like, I'm not really here and I'm just putting words on. This is not a story. This is like the feeling that I want to get. And I need to go back and actually make that like palatable kind of thing. And, which is great because I wrote a good amount and I was like, okay, 20 minutes to edit that is going to be great. But before that, I put down a lot of like stuff I'd already sort of been thinking about, like how magic is entwined in the culture kind of thing. Like these are specifically African-American Black witches or, you know, and I said this off. Well, I may have kept it in, I may not have, but like, they refer to people in their community as the empowered. Right?
Yes.
And so I wrote some things. I was like, okay, where do I feel about like how magic is things? So the empowered, magic in the hands, magic in the voice, magic in the hair. And like how those things kind of like turn out, right? So I've got like magic in the hands, the food we make, the comfort we give, the discipline we dole out, the help we offer. Kind of like how do these show up, right?
Yeah.
Magic in the voice, the stories we tell, the truth we twist or reveal, the loud we get, the small we become. you know?
Yeah.
And so like, how does this like,
The small we become. Mm-hmm. It is, you are usually making other people comfortable by shrinking yourself. So it is almost a spell that you cast for the benefit of others, but it is a curse unto yourself.
these are all fun things that I've been playing with in my head. And here's the thing that I sat on. I'm not going to read you what I've written yet because it really does need to be cleaned up. But
Yeah.
this is the thing that I had like been one of the like first thoughts that I had, like what would be important in the community, and magic in the hair, right? And I wrote cornrows for direction and protection, twists for holding spells and wishes close, afros for amplification of power, presses or perms for stealth and camouflage.
That's cool.
So that like because it's important for me to be like every part of it matters, not like
that is really cool. People like cornrows for direction. People used to braid maps.
Yes.
They used to put seeds
that was the point.
to like That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow,
so
that's really cool.
So the sort of like the thing that I wrote had to do with the magic of hair and the magic of hands, and it just really needs to be edited because I was just like, okay, I'm in this like magic state right now, and like this is the word vomit of it, as you can see.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, now I need to like make it what I need it to make.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's really cool.
Did it interrupt your thought process of anything?
No, it's fine. I think it's different than mine. Like yours is, I think talking about, it's bringing in more of what we were talking about before, like what does it look like in the culture?
Yeah.
Right? Mine is not culture specific. I think it's very specifically multicultural because one of the things that I love is being around people who have different experiences and sharing stories. And if this is a fantasy world and it's exactly what I want, women of all different places and colors and whatever would love each other.
Yeah.
And love each other well and help each other. So there is some of that in what I'm writing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's good. That's how I feel. I love that. Like my brain was like, oh, I want to bring in, but I was like, I am very focused on like this part because I want to build and build out. But I like am excited to hear what
I'm excited to hear yours. Oh my God. Power in the hair. When you said that, I was like, what power is the hair? And I pictured like, does you pluck the hair and you do something? No, but like we do things with our hair, and like when my hair is one way, I do feel more powerful. I feel great. Like when that's really cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's amazing. Yeah, I like that we're both doing different things.
Yeah. Yeah. Me too. I'm like excited to see what you have, and like this is like it's very good because of like this is scratching the itch, right? Like it's not the full on a whole story of what I want, but this is like it's this is coming into the area, you know, like when it's like it's right in the back and you just got the top of it and you're like, I just need to get a little bit lower.
Yeah. That's a good way to describe this feeling. I'm like, this feels good, but I need more.
Yeah.
Okay.
Fun. Is there anything you want to say about yours before you move on? You don't have to. I'm not forcing you.
No, I think that is the vibe. I'm trying to sort it out and make it good. I've got a lot of different parts down, and I need to be able to make it into something cohesive that I can read. So, yeah, because we've got one more writing portion.
Yeah, we just got one more 20-minute writing portion. I'm probably going to stand up and write over there.
That's good.
So that I can get some stuff in. I also do have to go to the bathroom. I know that if I
go to the bathroom first and then come
you're
back,
going to start writing when I'm gone. Which is fine. It's fine. But
no.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and start doing our next one. This was a very short discussion, but you know, sometimes when it is, we ask the story. I didn't
even want to stop at all. I was like, stop talking to me. The thing went off, and I was like, she better not say anything to me. And then you said something to me, and I didn't snap at you, so this is good.
Did. Roll back the cameras. But aren't you glad that I like said something? Like I'm glad to Yeah. So we see the directions that we're going. Okay. Cool. All right. See you on the other side of the next one.
Okay, this is clumsy and it's weird and it needs to be like edited, but we are here.
We are here.
Oh, there's so much.
Yep. You always write so much, and we gave you 2 times. I wrote a lot, and then I edited it to a little bit more than that. Mine is also clumsy because I was still trying to like work out how I wanted to set this. I think I would need another 20 minutes to do the thing, and we're not doing that.
I need another hour.
That's also fair. I mean, I just need another 20 minutes for the scene, not for the story.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Do you? I kind of want to hear yours because I didn't really get any insight for like.
Okay, I'm going to like say things that are summaries of things in between.
That's fine.
Just so that you know, because I wasn't able to go back and write like this moving into this.
That's fair.
Right, but I will.
There was some stuff.
And I haven't reread some of the stuff at the beginning. Mm-hmm. So I don't know what I'm reading.
Yep.
I don't know. But I will do it for you.
I was like, wait, do you want to like stop, pause, go and eat, and then come back and record this part?
No.
Okay.
I think what I would like to do is I would like to read this rough.
Okay.
And then do another editing thing and have another episode where we like
come back and talk
flesh this out a lot.
Yeah.
I think to do it justice.
For sure.
Okay.
All right, let's go.
Okay. So there's a girl, she's lost in the city and she has been hurt or betrayed in some way. And Graciella's heart hurt. She looked around at the crowds of people walking around her and heard a whistle. She knew not to look up, especially if it was directed at her. She put her head down and she shook her hair more around the sides of her face. She turned her eyes up so that she could see around her as she walked. She bumped into an older lady with graying hair and a messy bun. Her back seemed curved with age. So this is the summary that's not like written. Mm-hmm. But the lady asks for her help. What?
I'm just thinking about editing it.
I know, you send it to me and I'll type it up. Mm-hmm. The lady asks her for her help somewhere and says, can you meet me like around the corner and I'll be right there. So Graciella, for some reason, like that's sketchy as heck, but I don't know, I'll help this lady. So she walks over there, but as she walks, instead of it being more city, it becomes woods, right? And so she's walking and is lost. And then suddenly a lady walks by her and is like, hi, nice to meet you, dear. Oh, no, sorry. Hi, nice to see you, dear. Thanks for coming. Come this way. And it's the same lady, but she looks different somehow. So Graciella follows behind the strange woman, walking through the trees with her head down, seeing the dirt and the tree roots enough to avoid falling, but is distracted by her thoughts. For some reason, she's not worried about being in the woods anymore. I got to figure that out. But she has pictures of that last conversation, waves of anger and indignation, followed by waves of loneliness. She blinks in surprise. There were suddenly flowers beneath her feet. Her eyes moved forward where the tree line ended. There were many wildflowers lining a clearing that acted as a yard to a small cottage. In the yard, there was a small fire pit and picnic tables, a push spout by the house with a pail, apparently to get water, but next to it was also a turn spout that you could connect a hose to, suggesting like running water. She sits and she talks with the ladies. This isn't written down. She sits and she talks with the ladies and they're chit-chatting and they're going in and out of the house and there's 4 of them and she's having a good time. So then we get to this point. Graciella pushed her hands through her hair, pushing back the thick black waves as she closed her eyes and tilted her face to the sky. She sighed deeply as she enjoyed the warmth of the setting sun on her skin. She sat that way for a long moment, hearing the sounds of women walking around the camp making preparations. Unji, who is the lady who found her, called her out of her trance. We're getting dinner started. Unji joined the 4 women at the table. She had a hard time understanding what exactly she was looking at. They had removed a round section of the tabletop, and there was a mini fire pit there. As the lady spoke pleasantly, Hazel placed small logs of fire into the pit. Graciella had not seen her carrying anything, hadn't noticed a wood pile or anyone chopping earlier. Where had she gotten the wood? Enzi leaned over the wood and did something with her hands. A fire gently crackled to life, and Unji came from inside of the cottage carrying a thick round pot with a lid. Jane slid a grate over the fire, and Unji set the pot on top. It already had some sort of broth inside. At Hazel's request, Graciella joined the lady to gather ingredients for their hot pot from the refrigerator in the kitchen. What are the things you're hoping for right now? Unji asked the group. Hazel complained of headaches and pains of arthritis. I just want some relief. Enzi shared stories about her son's upcoming marriage, asking for prayers that he and his bride be happy and healthy. As the women spoke, they added ingredients to the hot pot. The smell began to build, and with it grew Graciella's hunger and excitement. How about you, dear? She thought a moment as she looked over the ingredients, thinking about the events of the day and then the past weeks and months. I've been hurt recently, she said quietly, and she would have told them her story earlier. And I want to be able to know that I can trust the people in my life. I think you want more than that. I want to not be surrounded by jerks. I want to not be angry anymore. I want to be loved for me and not what I can bring. I want to be able to be me all the time. The women nodded, making sounds of understanding, and a hand rubbed her back as a tear fell from her eyes. Said Hazel, placing her hands together in what seemed to be a prayer. Thank you for sharing, honey. The women eat together, and as Graciela looks about at the women, she can't stop herself from asking, I'm sorry, Unji, but are you taller than you were before? When I met you, you seemed smaller. I have not grown. I don't have the power to change my physical form in such a way. What you are noticing is that I am freer from the weight of the world, so my shoulders are not so heavy. I see it in you too. The longer you are here, the less you look down, Unji stated. And your breaths are getting slower and deeper, Hazel noted. Graciela stared at the women. She was breathing more deeply. When had that started? She did not normally relax around people. She knew that there was magic afoot, but suddenly felt a little uneasy. Are you casting some sort of spell on me? Is this because of magic? No, Enzi said, not on purpose. But being around those who want you to be safe is a magic of itself. As a magic in it on its own. Yeah, is a magic on its own.
I like that. You were really into that.
There were so many things. There were so many pictures. And then I had like images of the woods and the flowers and the colors. And I was like, if I get caught up in that, I'm not going to be able to get to any of the dialogue. And the dialogue is what's important. But there's smoke and there's pictures that you see in the smoke. That's not written down. I don't know. But anyway, Unji is Korean.
Yes.
Hazel is black.
Okay.
And Enzi is racially ambiguous. We don't know. And she, Gabrielle doesn't know her well enough, so I was like afraid to ask.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask you.
Yeah. She's like, I don't know.
I see that you still left the naming convention, the GH.
I did. I started with G, and then I was like looking for a Korean name specifically, and I don't know any Korean name like off the top of my head for a woman besides Unji.
Yeah.
That's because I hung out with a friend recently.
I was like, Unji, yeah.
Like, Unji. And Unji is like, my friend Unji is like blunt, so she's like, yeah, this is what's going on with you. Okay, Unji, but like, can we like beat around the bush a little bit?
Just for a little bit, please.
No. And so I'm like, yeah, Unji's like, you want more than that.
Yeah.
I know you do.
It was good. It was good. I really liked it. I really liked the magic of it. When you were saying hot pot, I wasn't sure if you meant like hot pot or a hot pot.
Yeah, it's like, you know, when you do
a pot that is hot, or is it hot pot as in
like a hot pot? Like we're all putting, we're cooking a meal together. Yes. And so like in this, everyone contributes something. Mm-hmm. They contribute like wood, fire, ingredients, but they are also sharing their pain with each other, commiserating, and then helping that pain to be lighter.
Yeah.
And it's beautiful.
I really like this depiction of what community looks like here. And that she didn't feel, look, man or a bear in the woods, I'm following a woman into the woods. Let's just go. That's the least dangerous thing. It's still pretty dangerous to do that. It's pretty dangerous.
Because there's women, the patriarchy sometimes comes from inside the house, and there's women who will help men kidnap you.
Yeah.
That's really happened before.
Not what Don't follow. Unji would never.
Unji would never. Unji would never.
Okay, that was good. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you.
It's really good because you were so excited while writing it. Like, shut up, let me get back to writing. So I was like, oh, I liked it. I'm like, I can see where you were at, like the front. It was definitely jumping in a little rough, but I was like, I can see how excited she was and where these things could go to. So
and
that's
it's
fun.
very, very clumsy. And there's things that like aren't, I think, written as well as they could be if I had more time. But that's the point of the exercise.
Yeah, but it's
is
also
to get
very
it down.
vivid. It's also very vivid. So
Yeah.
I think it's all obvious that you had a lot of things that you wanted to hit.
Yeah,
that you're
like she starts with like her hair covering her face, and she's like shy, and she like doesn't want to be seen. And at the end, her face is to the sky, and it's out,
which is beautiful. That is a beautiful set of images.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I enjoyed that so much, and I want to go back to it. But I think it is good to like sit, wait, come back, do some things. I want to add in like culturally specific things, right? Like the hot pot specifically isn't like a black woman thing. Like I didn't grow up doing hot pots, but like other people did.
Yes.
You know, so like that's something that is specifically from a different culture. But making food together is
Yeah.
right. That is something that I think is generally shared in cultures. You know what I'm saying? Usually, like in my family, you make food and then you share it with people.
Yeah.
And maybe you have some ingredients that people can add in if they want to. But I like this community we're adding to a pot. And it's very much like that cauldron thing that you were talking about. Are we over a cauldron?
What is a cauldron but a big pot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And thank you for setting this up. I appreciate you.
Me too. I'm glad. So that's all we got for today.
Read to me.
Okay.
I don't know if you guys know this. I don't know if I've mentioned it on camera, but my favorite thing in the world right now is to be read to by you specifically.
That's fair. That is a thing. Oh, it started again. Which is fine. Okay, so let's hop into this. We've been going I'm hungry, so I'm ready.
I'm hungry.
I have a small headache, so I'm like, we're gonna hop into this. I'm gonna take my time trying to read this. Also, it is also very rough because I got some editing done, but there's probably still things that are like not perfect, and I'm illiterate, so it's hard for me to read out loud, which is why you see a lot of cuts and ums and stuff. But I'm gonna do my best. Carmine Black's Auntie Grace owned her own hair shop. It wasn't in the downtown area like most of the empowered businesses were, but rather several miles away in a strip mall on the east side of the town center. She had 3 women and 2 men who rented booths in her shop, and only one of them was empowered as well. It was how Grace made money, but not where she centered her craft. When Carm was 10, she began her first apprenticeship, as the young in the community always do, whether they are empowered or not. Carm spent every Sunday afternoon during that school year with Auntie Grace in the second room of her apartment, where she shadowed the older woman as she did her craft. Grace's magic was centered in her hands, and she had chosen the focus of haircraft. In the Riverside County, Grace was among the top of the empowered hair enchanters. She could get through 3 or 4 heads between the time Carm was dropped off after church around 1 p.m. to when her dad would pick her up at 6. Carm had her hair done many times, not often by Grace, and when she did, it would always take at the very least 11 hours, as her hair was thick and curly and defiant. But the magic in Grace's hands let her fingers slip through strands of hair in her hand, no matter the curl type or thickness. Carm spent 9 months watching her auntie shape and trim afros with ease, or complete half a head of individuals in just 90 minutes. Even retwisting locks seemed to only take minutes for her. Grace would do all of this while keeping up a steady stream of conversation with the client. At first, Carm had thought it was strange, the questions her auntie would ask and how easily the client would answer. But as she grew under her auntie's tutelage, she learned that this was how the spells were made strong. Her leading questions were chosen with care, and she would weave the intention of each response into the strands of hair in her hand in the form of protections and charms and guidance. With each deft twist of her fingers, she would lock in, pull out, or shape the will of the spell. That was the power she held in her hands. The only kind of hair she would refuse to do in her home was a press or perm. The two would take a trip to her shop for those. Grace said that the burn and smoke of such magic could not be done in your own yard, for it was a powerful spell of changing. Magic like that should not be done in one's place of safety, she had taught her young niece. And though Carm's magic did not manifest in her hands as her aunties had, it was a lesson she took with her as she had come into her own craft. To do a thing that required change, you should not do it at your stable place. To do so would risk damning your own firm ground. And that was something that should always be protected.
That was lovely. That was lovely. I need Grace in my life because my hair is like Carm's. And it's thick and defiant. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Wow. No, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. I also like okay, we're going to do perms if you want a perm.
Yeah.
But that is a changing.
Yeah.
And I like this is stable ground. This is my place of stability, of safety. So if we're going to be doing changing, if we're going to like move from our natural state to a state of hiding or however you want to say it, or camouflage or whatever the case may be, like, let's do that somewhere else.
Yeah. And I think like it's so interesting because like I maybe not obviously, but and maybe not for you, but probably I have intense memories of like being at my stove with an iron sitting on the you know,
visceral.
Obviously, or like before we were there, like we're not buying a flat iron. Why? We got a comb that we set on fire, and I think about like how that is such like the smell of it in your home, and the feeling of sitting down and being tapped on the ear and being told to sit still is such a visceral and important part of my heritage. Like it's an important part of my childhood and as my identity as a Black woman. And I would never say that like you like don't do that in your own house. But I was thinking like when magic is involved, like if you're just like doing it with no magic, do it at home. Yeah. Be in your own safe, like as you're doing to do this kind of changing. But if you were willing a spell, don't do a spell of changing in your safe place or the place that you constantly are doing magic. You know, I was just like, I thought that was just an important note. It's like, it is not bad to do, but you need to do it in a certain place.
Yeah. I like the implications for that and the rules that it's kind of setting up for the world, right? The magic that you do isn't just confined to what you do it on. What you do affects the environment around you. Yeah. And that's real. Yeah. If I choose to make hatred, it seeps out, right? It affects the things around you. So I like it. I also think that we could, like, it's not what you were intending, but with the world being the world and the internet being the internet, hey, we could probably have long discussions over the pros and cons and the goods and evils of changing your hair texture and what that could mean. And if it is just a thing that you do, that you experiment with because you like it and it doesn't make you hate yourself, then it's a good thing. Yeah. But if you do it because someone has told you that the rest of you is unacceptable, then that becomes a bad thing. Yeah. And it is that curse unto yourself suddenly, instead of just a magic that you work in your hair. Yeah. And I think that's a beautifully complicated conversation to have.
It is. I agree. And also the importance of conversation. Like, oh, when you go to a hair shop, all you do, you smell the hair. Like the smell of a hair shop is so specific. Yeah. And it's that smell plus conversation, gossip being taught. And it's like, but that's part, like that is an important and integral part of having your hair done. Sitting there in silence with my headphones in, like I never. Never. Even if I wanted to. I mean, I've been
there's got to be some conversation. Yeah. I've been in situations where like someone's doing my hair for me and it's like the friend of a friend and like I don't really know them and it's kind of awkward. Yeah. And like the hair might come out great, but like your soul doesn't come out as fulfilled. Yeah. You know? Like
if you were going to be this close to me for this many hours deep in my scalp,
we gotta know each other better. We're friends now, dude. What do you mean?
But so this is like sort of the itch, right? Like the idea that like, okay, if magic is in your hands and that is where it manifests, and then you just choose the craft that you allow that to flow through. There's the cooking. There's the like healer, literally becoming a doctor. There's so many things. There's the fighter. There are enforcers in this world, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know?
You can cut this if you want to. What is that?
That was FA texting me.
Okay.
I hear it. She went, yeah, which means she's probably finished the book.
Oh. You can cut this if you want to. Yeah. And then
I'll probably cut this.
It's different. It's too heavy. Anyway. So, but no, I thought that was lovely. Mm-hmm. I love the idea of like my hands are where my magic works. I am handy with my hands.
Yeah.
Do I use that for hair? Do I use it for healing? Do I use it to soothe? Do I use it to snatch you up?
Yeah.
To give you discipline, to guide you in a different direction. Beautiful.
Yeah. And then like even at the end, her saying like hers did not manifest in her hand. So I've already said that there's another manifestation in voice, and there are other ones which I haven't like pinned down quite yet, which I know what hers is, and I don't think voice would be the right one either. So I'm like, oh, where are we gonna
now
place
questions? We're supposed to go eat.
We don't. I mean, you can have questions while we go and eat and go to Michael's to get stuff for her new craft.
Yes.
That's
okay. Well, now we can go.
Oh my gosh, another hand like making things.
I was thinking about it, and like for my work, I do use my voice, and that is how I connect with people and how I choose to love people all the time. But I am also constantly using I cannot stop using my hands. So I don't know what my manifestation would be if I was like gonna pick one.
And even that, like there's some stuff where it's just kind of like, there's stuff where your magic manifests, but that's not necessarily always like where you good. Like the main character that I'm writing, like she wants it in her hands. Like she's a cook, she loves to cook. Her father his was in his hands, and anything he made, like his magic was imbibed, and he could like turn whole groups like from raging to, like because of how he interacted with food.
Everybody sits
like,
down angry and gets up happy.
She was like, I want that. I want to be able to heal through food, not hurt through food, but like, but it's not in her hands. But she is an excellent cook because regardless of the magic, she learned at her father's feet.
Yeah.
So it is one of those things where you're like, oh, I don't know. I'm like good at making stuff with my hands, but is that where my magic came from? And it wouldn't negate it. It wouldn't say that you wouldn't be able to make things with your hands anymore. It would just be like, that's just not where your craft is.
The mystic stuff comes from. Yeah.
Anyway, this has been great. I'm so hungry. We got to leave so that my husband can be free to wander around and not feel like he has to be quiet while we're yapping in here. Yeah.
Goodbye, guys. Thanks for joining us. We will be returning to this.
We apparently will be returning
to this. I will. You might not even see it. You might never see you may never see the return.
But it is, also word to the wise, if I see any of my stuff out there and you say it's yours, I'm coming for you.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. This is a very beautiful, magical world that I'm the scratching this itch.
Right. And if you want to talk about it, just say, hey, this person did this.
Yes. Put it in the comments. Go on our Reddit.
Yeah. Bye.
Bye.